From the riverbank in Chang Bai Shan, North Korea feels within reach. It's only about 100 meters away. Chaoshan, Huishan. And now I'm exactly on the borderline, and now I'm officially in North Korea. Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've just finished packing and now I'm ready for my trip to northeast China. Tomorrow I am going to start with Dandong, a city at the very south of China and North Korea's borderline. And this borderline has three very important geographic elements. In the middle it's a holy mountain. In Mandarin it's called Chang Bai Shan, but in Korean it's called Baektusan. And to the north of this mountain is Tumen River. To the south, it's another river called Yalu River. Ever since the pandemic, North Korea has closed its border and nobody knows when it will reopen. Although I can't travel to North Korea, I can watch it from China, and I've got this. This can definitely help me to have a closer look of the world's most mysterious country, North Korea. 去过朝鲜呀？
这没有，
真没有啊？你本地人？
我是本地人，但是我这么大岁数哈，不行，朝鲜不让咱过去。咱这边没有护照你是过不去的。再就是，要是朝鲜有亲戚呢，行，写封信，完了拿这个朝鲜这个写来的信呢，上公安局办个就是过境证就行了。
那现在疫情是不是看亲戚都不行了呀？
哎。
丹东这边有人在朝鲜那边有亲戚吗？有啊。那边生活咋样，知道不？不好。
他现在就像咱60-70年代。
60-70年代。
但是60-70年你是没跟上。你岁数小，今年有30吗
？30多。 我看以前那个价格也不是很贵，1-2千块钱就能。
对对，哎呀，刚开始才多钱，4日游啊，才800，这可怎么办？刚开始。
那是多少年？2000年有吧？
就是2000年前后，就那俺都不乐意过去。
你也不想过去啊？
哎，都不。我要想过去，我早过去。我要想过去，我真能过去。因为我的姐姐，我亲姐姐呀，我亲姐夫，他们那边有亲戚，就我姐夫他们经常过去。我那些外甥啊，他们经常过去。因为谁呀？是我姐夫的亲姐姐。 是华侨，朝鲜华侨。
朝鲜华侨，
那就是中国华侨在朝鲜。他的姐姐在那，他那些孩子啊，现在就留了1个，8个孩子就留了1个孩子在朝鲜。
然后剩下的都带过来了。
他自己不，就是要回来，都回来。
就他可以选，因为以前是中国过去可以选，对吧？
都回来了，闭嘴！就留一个，因为他想留一个来回好走亲戚。
对，要多走了也就断了啊。
就断了。他那个就是写了一封信回来，俺上公安局办个过境证。
就得去看家人了。那能把家人接过来度假吗？
能，
也能。那还挺好的。这边是不是有好多朝鲜人在这边工作呀？他们收入咋样呀？
收入在这边的收入挺高。
啊，是吗？一个月能拿多少钱？
他们拿的倒挺多吧，但是他们统共就叫人绑皮了。他们有就是大老板或者二老板那样是不是绑皮了就？给你3000块钱哈，他人家就凑回去了。他们哈能剩个1000、6、7、2000那是最多的。如果你喜欢他，
就是拿到手最后1000、6、7块钱
到他自己手里了。你说什么？
陆琪瞬间尖叫。这个在朝鲜也算高的了。
啊，
你说的是朝鲜那边，你知不知道收入？
那不太清楚。我没问他们。 但是他们是无敌，不困难，是困难，但是他的制度挺好。他的制度，你看从出生全是国家抚养。
哦，就是所有的钱都是国家付。
哎，就是你看上幼儿园，完了上小学、上中学、上高中、上大学，一直到工作，全是国家。完了医药，他们药就是全民的去看病，都不用都不能。哦，就这点。要不朝鲜就这点比中国还满意。
不知道结婚
呢，随便
分房。哦，房也是分的。只能说不用花钱。
In Dandong, North Korea is definitely the biggest selling point. You can easily get cigars and banknotes, which are almost the only real North Korean items you can get. You can take a photo with the iconic Sun Rising building, the biggest building in Xingyizhou. You can also view it from the cafe, and there are monoculars every few hundred meters. Although there are lots of buildings on the other side, many of them are not finished. You can also take the sightseeing ferries, which will take you very close to Sinuji's side. Because according to the bilateral agreement, Yalu River is shared by both countries, and as long as nobody gets off, it won't be seen as border trespassing. On my boat ride to get closer to North Korea. Although there are a lot of tall buildings in Sinuji, North Korea, from the boat, I can tell that not every building is used. In fact, many buildings are left uncompleted. So many floors, you can see through it. Not every window is installed, and occasionally I see some workers are working on the port, and I really wonder how many people actually live in the city. But on the other side of the river, Dandong has a different urbanscape. That's the airport, and we are very close to it. Ever since COVID, North Korea has closed its gate. It used to be very easy to travel to North Korea. One can sign up for a group tour and go across the bridge. Connecting Dandong and Sinuji are two bridges. One is here, a new one that aims to facilitate Sino-North Korea trade, but it was never used. Another one is here, which maintains the basic imports and exports between China and North Korea. Next to this one is another broken bridge, which has witnessed some of the world's most significant political changes: the rise and fall of Japan Empire and the division of North and South Korea. In fact, those two bridges are built by Japan Empire. So now you see the two bridges. They are only about 100 meters away from each other, and occasionally there are still trucks driving through the bridge. But how come that the Japanese built two bridges in between North Korea and China? So the story started in the early 20th century, and by then the whole Korea peninsula was a Japanese colony. And later, in the coming decades, Japan continued to expand in northern China. They established a state called Manchukuo, which is a puppy state for the Japan Empire. And then in 1935, they built another bridge, which is only 100 meters away from their old bridge. History is long, but I'll make it short. Then Japan surrendered and World War II ended. Korean peninsula was divided into two occupation zones, the south supported by the US and the north by the Soviet. Both parties wanted to unify the country. So in 1950, the Korea War started. North Korea invaded South Korea, pushing the South Korea army to Busan. And supported by the United Nations Command, South Korea fought back, pushing North Korea army to China border. So China joined the war, and Dandong Bridge was bombed by US Air Force to stop China's supply to the battlefield. After 3 years of brutal war, the battle line was pushed back to the 38th parallel. Eventually, an armistice was signed, leaving Korea divided, as much as it was before.
高级冷面啊，风筝冷面是它。哦。要哪张？我要这个吧，高级冷面。好的，请坐呢。我坐边上吧。好，谢谢。哎，老板，你是朝鲜族吗？我是身份特殊。哦。啊，我懂了。
So I was asking her if she is Chinese Korean, and she said she has a special identity, so I suspect that she is from North Korea. So I've got a lot on the table. This is a typical 朝鲜冷面, a Korean, North Korean cold noodle dish, and this is a side dish. But it seems that she purposefully picked up the big pieces of meat for me, and I got this and 2 small side dishes as a gift. I didn't dare to ask the lady more about her identity. I was afraid this might be some sensitive information. A taxi driver told me that many North Koreans also work in Dandong, mostly in restaurants. They were selected by the government. They all have university degrees, and they pay a large share of their income to the government. At night, this riverfront area is super lively. People are coming here to do exercise. So some aunties and uncles are dancing, some are singing, and kids are also having fun. While there is so much going on in Dandong at night on the riverbank, on the other side, it's just silent. The light is also much dimmer. Even when it comes to the bridge, the Sino-Korea Friendship Bridge, it's partially lit up. But by the end, when it reaches North Korea, it's totally in dark. But Dandong was just the beginning of my border exploration. The next day I planned to go to Changbai County. But the trip took long because the high-speed railway hardly reaches those border regions. The first day I made it to Linjiang, another small border city next to North Korea's biggest copper mine. I got on the top of this viewing platform. The landscape on the other side just shocked me. Look. That's the largest copper mine from North Korea. It looks like a small town, right? Everything is so neat and organized. I can tell there are some corn farms, there are some rice farms. The layout of the town is also pretty clear, so in the surrounding area, it's all the residential houses. And all the houses look so standard. They look like as if they've been copy and pasted. They look like small villas, in fact. There are some big factories on the top, and there are some big Korean characters on top. And I saw some people who are walking along the riverbank. Some are riding bicycles. Mostly are riding bicycles, and occasionally I saw 1 or 2 who are riding motorbikes. That night, I stayed in Linjiang. I went out for a walk in the night market. There is a very nice night market in Linjiang, and I've just saw some people are selling something very specific. Ginseng is a traditional Chinese medicine which is believed to have immense health benefit. 大哥，像这样一个多少钱呀？
那个150。
150啊。
我们是职业放山的。
职业放山人。对，就是
专门上山挖人参的。
啊，那你一天能挖几根呀？
我们今天是去了3个人，挖了不到10根吧。
啊，还是挺难挖的，就只有这个季节有吧？
这个季节它种子红了，它容易看，好看。再就是它的这个养分各个方面，都成熟了。
它这人参买回去一般怎么吃呀？
一般都是煲汤、泡酒、泡水。
泡酒泡水，有啥好处吗？
这个人参大补元气。
大补的，就数这上面的。
对。
就一个节就是1年。
基本上吧。
哇。This one is 10 years old, and this one is more than 30 years old. And there is also a shop next to it that sells ginseng liquor. Look, all the fruits on this night market looks so fresh, wild, and healthy. And some of them are very small in size. For example, that is a small pear. Look, it's just this size. And small apples, very small apples. 姑娘, and they call it 小金豆, which literally means golden beans. And this one, 山楂, it's also quite small.
大饭包啊，正宗东北饭包了，来看看。
The next day, I left for Changbai. I have always been wondering if there is any border trespassing or any forms of communication of people who live on the border. I had some random talk with the people I met.
俄罗斯那边有这样式的，就是跑出来了哈，完了人俄罗斯抓了以后遣返，在大桥顶上，军方这边，送去一个办手续啊哈，调查接收什么的，去了以后那8号那个8号线，铁丝呗，就是8号线铁丝，这边那行尖儿过去以后对着你手线抓穿过去，完了一拧，你给戴上手铐子也行啊，绑上绳也行啊，就搁那么穿，行了，穿过手线，哎，一缠嘛，
好残忍
啊！俄罗斯这也是官方一看，我这太不人道了，这完了以后不送，剩下那几个不送，拉倒吧。你说那太狠了吧，他这也。
那你有没有去过朝鲜玩啊？
没去过，这会儿朝鲜不让你去。再早那时候我们就一江之隔，冬天他们可以过来，但是咱们上他国家死穷去干啥呀？他们朝鲜冬天再早的时候，他们都过来上中国来吃饭。
就有亲戚过来吃饭？
没有他也来吃。
他是给钱吗？
给啥钱？吃完就走人，不是警察过来。我都过来偷你东西。
偷东西。那当时有人就是偷偷跑到中国来了？
对，
也有啊。
有来吃，反正吃完他们就走。他就上你跟人家找点吃的，喝点酒就走了，都是警察干的。
就是有熟人啊什么的，
上你家不管认不认识，上你家去了，你看是朝鲜人，你再找那时候让他过来，就管。现在他不来不了。不干了。
就以前就看他们有点可怜。
对，你给他炒个菜呀，你炒个鸡蛋他都能喝起。
那就以前那边吃不饱呗。
吃不饱。
现在也不知道了。现在看他们那边庄稼。
现在他挺严的，他把咱这边下的都是电网。
哦，都是电网呀，就是他那个网是电网。
也过不去，也不敢。
哦，那等于说自己的人一碰网也要被电的。
对，他来不了。一大江，冬天一封江就一条大道挨大道，也不用坐车，也不用坐啥，
就可以走过去了。
就走了就过，这不就那边就是朝鲜。哦，过江那边就是朝鲜。
以前还能过去玩，现在就不行了。
不行，去不了。
我让他啥时候能开？
开不了，
开不了。
从中国有疫情，他就戒严中国了。哦。后来他们都走私或者换东西啥的，让过去划船过去。现在也不让。哦。
I'm not a historian, but if you're more interested in the border stories, you can check this channel, which has compiled some fascinating stories. The bus drives along the Yalu River, the border. I saw many small villages and shanty houses, and occasionally people who are working on the road. By the end of the day, I saw a city so clearly on the other side of the river. That's North Korea's Hesan Sea. Chang Bai Shan, compared with Dandong, is much less touristic and more local, and it has more of a Korea flair. As you can see, almost all the signages, the shop signages, are written in both languages, and even the signage for the street. In the morning market, I have more new discoveries. Can you believe this is kiwi fruit? It's so smooth and so small. It looks like green cherries. So this is ranzao. It's a mini kiwi fruit with a smooth surface, and it's the most yummy kiwi fruit I've ever had. That's Korean blood sausage, made with sticky rice, pork blood, and some veggies. And that's deer peanuts. I know Chinese medicine can be pretty strange. I don't know how to translate this, but this is a Chan Yong, and it's still alive. It's a big bug. But it's a very typical food in, for example, in Shandong province. It's very high in protein, but I've never had it. From the riverbank in Chang Bai Shan, North Korea, falls Wizing Ridge. It's only about 100 meters away. So that is a train station, and there are some residential buildings. This must be a timber factory. That's another factory. So that's the city of Huishanshi. And as I read from Wikipedia, in 2008, the population is more than 200,000 people. So it's actually larger than Chang Bai Shan. One river apart, those two cities look like one, but they are not. North Korea's Hesan spreads into the green hills, and it looks colorful and neat. It must be a busy city too.
啊？
你有亲戚在那边不？
亲戚有啊。
哦，那你以前还可以过去那个探亲吗？
探亲？探亲就是好长时间不去了。平阳那边有。
哦，平阳那边有亲戚。
以前就是我一个布布，我一个表布。哦。在那儿，然后他很多年前就来过。来过以后就是中断联系，是不好联系。哦。除非他们找我们，我们找他就不好找。哦，找不着。他们好像是怎么事啊？往这边就申请，什么叫什么名然后这边就好找，就是我们反正好找。咱找他们费劲了，朝鲜他妈太保守了那地方。哦，
那你会说韩语吗？
当然会了，这个朝鲜这个经济不行。感觉就不行，他现在可能不知道突然有钱了。他们朝鲜现在 是搞这个农村建设。
哦。
你没看这个江道来的时候，看有个别墅似的，
对，
漂亮的。
对。
他那个都是才整，去年开始盖的，今年都盖起来了，还弄得挺好的。
啊。
弄的全是别墅。
对，有的是的，我看有的房子破破烂烂的，有的还挺好的。
啊，这个别墅区，我不知道他弄那些玩意儿是干什么的。
哦。
那也是开发旅游业吧？
有可能。
他们一般弄那个别墅，普通老百姓他就住不了啊。
也是。
他这个住都是对这个，对这个国家有贡献的人，或者是高层阶级，
行，
老师了，这个那个乱七八糟的。
谢谢。
好的，
谢谢。Got my ticket to Changbai County. There is a border control here, and you can go to North Korea easily in the past before COVID, but now it's only possible to get on this bridge. 中国长白这边，朝鲜惠山。So this is exactly the borderline, and now I think I'm officially in North Korea. There is definitely no tourists for North Korea, and a tour guide just told me that this is definitely a militarized zone for North Korea, and it's impossible for them to even get close. Although we're not allowed to take pictures to the other side, we can take pictures safely from our gate on the 3rd floor. And there is even binocular. I saw some soldiers are patrolling along the riverfront area. So although North Korea doesn't want to be watched, watching it is the ultimate fun from this side. And along this riverfront area, every few hundred meters there will be a platform. And I've seen tourists getting off the bus and zooming to the maximum with their cell phone, trying to find out what's happening on the other side. There is also a glass walk over there on the mountain. And if you get on top of it, I bet you can have an overview of the whole Huishan city. So yeah, who wouldn't be curious about this world's most mysterious regime? So that's all for my today's video. I hope you like it. And for my next video, I'm going to visit a holy mountain for North and South Korea, and also for the Manchu people, Changbai Mountain. And after that, I'm going to China's only Korea autonomous prefecture with the most Chinese Koreans. So stay tuned and bye bye.